Tyrese at halftime tonight?
Tyrese did it on his own this time. Just that first half, man, I think we were a little sluggish for whatever reason. Maybe it might have been the zone that they kind of threw at us that kind of slowed us up a little bit. They're a very long team, so they make it more difficult than usual. But felt like that first quarter they made a lot of shots, and we just weren't aggressive enough. That second half we picked it up and got stops and then got out of transition.
James, do you feel like maybe Cleveland's length kind of bothered Joe a little bit? Looked like he was frustrated a little bit.
No, not frustrated. It's just, you got to just play a little harder. You got to just, especially like you got to really rely on your defense because, if you get stops, then their zone can't set up. And I think we were just taking the ball out the basket too much in that first quarter.
Did you think maybe coming in here that George Niang was going to be somebody who could work?
Yeah, we all, he shooter in Utah and then coming here, pretty much I know the roster up and down. So just finding ways to impact games, and they do a really good job of packing the paint. So we found something to work with George tonight. He's a shooter. That's what he does. That's what he get paid to do, and he hit some big threes for us tonight.
How frustrating was the first half for you, just picking up those 3 fouls and having to sit for that stretch?
That's why you got a team. You got a team. You rely on a team to keep you in the game. And for me, I just got to do a better job of being more solid, and not fouling or whatever the case may be. A couple of them were questionable, but overall, I just got to be a little bit more smarter so I can be out there on the floor to help my team.
James, it kind of seemed like you were talking to Tobias a bit after he pump faked and kind of drove in a little bit. Like, what do you kind of tell him?
Yeah, when I got the ball and I'm getting to the basket, just be ready to catch and shoot, be ready to load the clip up, and we're still getting used to each other. So hopefully it's not going to take too much time, but I think he's a little under the weather. But just be ready to shoot. And if you don't got the shot, then either it's a swing or he's smart enough to attack the basket.
James, when the trade went down, everybody talked about you and Joel as a duo. But what have you thought about Tyrese Maxey being inserted in the mix as well, and you guys kind of forming this 3-headed monster on the offensive end?
Any given night, it can be any of us to go off, and Tyrese really picked it up for us tonight. It's his confidence, getting to the basket, getting to the foul line, and then his shot-making ability. He 5 threes tonight, which was huge for us. And then it's going to be nice where Tobias plays, extremely well and gets us 30. So we got a group of guys, a lot of guys that can contribute at any point in time. George hit, 5 threes tonight. That's big time. We're going to need each and every individual on his roster to get to where we want to go.
What did you guys do to solve the zone and get them out of it? You were much more successful.
Defense. Yeah, we got stops. Second half. Fourth quarter, they scored 20 points. First quarter, they scored 43. Like, we get stops, they can't just sit back and use their length on us. So that was a changing point in the game, and we made it up to ourselves to go out there and just be engaged, be aggressive, be physical, and then limit them to one shot.
You got 3 more last year with DeAndre and Brooklyn. What are your expectations for him?
I think he fits in well with us. He's a vet that's been on some really good teams, and feels like he hasn't accomplished his goal yet as far as winning the championship. So he has an opportunity to do it here. The system is pretty easy. You just go out there, rebound the basketball, communicate defensively, and we'll do a good job of giving him the basketball for some easy dunks. But he has the right mindset.
Every game is important, but this is kind of the first of a tough week, and there are a lot of challenging, playoff positioning type opponents down the stretch. Did this kind of feel like, okay, this is like the stretch run that we're going to be on?
Yeah,
now?
and we need this. Yeah, we need this for just our team, our togetherness, and down the stretch. Quite frankly, we got 20 games left before it should get real. So we need games like this to prepare us. And being down in that first half was probably a good thing, just to see our resilience and see, what we got, what we made of. And, tonight was a pretty good start. So we got to just keep chipping away.
What kind of unlocked for you in this particular second half?
I just tried to be aggressive and help my team get stops. That was really it. They were scoring every single possession, so I just did my best to play defense. And late I was playing defense on Garland and just trying to help us get stops and help us win the game, really.
I've said he kind of was on you a couple of times, just to be aggressive like what you're doing. You kind of feel like there are times where like you'll get a score, but you're also looking to get James Harden involved, Joel Embiid involved. Like, what's that balance still kind of be like for you?
Yeah, there's times. It's an adjustment period. I mean, like, of course, the offense has changed a lot. The dynamic of the team has changed a lot. So we're still just all trying to figure it out and just trying to, while we're figuring it out, try to get as many wins as possible.
Since the All-Star break, you've made 70% of your threes. Has anything clicked?
Honestly, I think as soon as I was done with the Rising Stars game, I didn't touch a ball for that entire period of time. And I think KJ, our trainer, was on me telling me that's going to be a big rest period for me. And I just feel way, way better, feel like rejuvenated when I came back to Minnesota after I missed my flight because somehow Dallas, global warming, ice, and I don't know what's going on. But yeah, so I mean, just trying to work on it every single day. And I know a lot of more opportunities will come, especially playing with James and Joel and Tobias because they draw so much attention. And I feel like to be able to stay on the court, to be able to help them as much as possible, I have to catch and shoot threes.
Was that hard for you? I know with the gym rat, you were to not touch a ball for a few days.
Yeah, that was hard. I mean, half of it was because I needed to rest, and half of it was because I couldn't leave the house because of the ice. But yeah, I mean, I think it was good for me. Really because KJ has been on me, all year about resting because rest is important, playing heavy minutes and different things like that because over the long haul of an 82-game season. So.
Tyrese, what do you think of the emotion that George shows when he hits a bunch of threes?
He's just, I always tell him, like, I love him because he plays with that emotion on his sleeve. And you need guys like that with the passion and just, I mean, I have a friend, like one of my best friends in high school, who's the same way. Every time he hit a three, he's always celebrating. He always brings positive energy. And no matter if George is playing good, playing bad, or however he's playing, he's always going to have that positive energy, and we need it. So.
You guys have had a couple games in a row where you've dug yourself a hole and been able to pull yourself out of it. But maybe what needs to change to not put yourself in that position moving forward?
Yeah, we got to start the game faster, getting stops. I think that's the main thing. The more stops we get, the more opportunities we get to get out and run, get guys in transition, Joel, James, Tobias, myself, Matisse, start making plays like that. But, just like you said, it starts on the defensive end. Stops, and then we get out to the races.
I'm really just curious, you guys have a big game tomorrow night in Miami in terms of trying to chase the top seed in the East. Is that something that you guys talk about at all, or no?
I mean, we take one game at a time. So, this game is over now. Now, as soon as we get off the plane, probably go to sleep, get some rest, and then wake up in the morning and prepare for Miami.
You talked to us early in the year and said that you really enjoyed playing with Shake. What have you seen from him now the last couple games? He seems like he's in a pretty good groove now coming back from his injury.
Yeah, I love playing with Shake. It's funny because when my dad was 1 year coaching college basketball at SMU, he coached Shake Milton. So, like, we've always been cool since then. And ever since I got drafted here, Shake's been like a big brother to me, and I just really appreciate him. But I really commend him because he stayed ready. It's hard right now. We don't know rotation. We don't know different things like that because, we have new faces, new people on our team. And his energy has been great, no matter if he's playing or not playing. And then when he gets his opportunities, he goes out there and he really presents himself.
Did you get to know him? Did you get to know Shake when he was in college? Like, did you guys first meet then or not until you were drafted?
No. We first met then a little bit, just, visits and different things like that. But, yeah, he's a great person. And SMU is definitely, in my opinion, Shake Milton University because when when my dad was there, Shake was something else. And I just like to watch him play, and it's crazy now that I'm on the same team as him.
Do you find yourself consider yourself part of a big three with Joe and James, or do you kind of look at those two as still like the alpha?
I just really go out there and try to help my team. I don't think we look at big three, big two, whatever. I think we just look at it as one unit. And as long as we step in the right direction with this one unit and keep building every single day and building in the right direction, the sky's the limit.
Tyrese, there was one play towards the end of the first half where you caught the ball and he was out running, and then you just kind of slowed the pace down and then directed the offense and got a bucket. Do you feel like that's something that you're getting better at, is sort of controlling the pace of the team, not just yourself, but the overall unit on the floor?
Yeah, I remember that play. Joel ran and post. It was we were trying to get the last shot. And, Joel, that's just one of those moments. Joel was posted, and I was just saying, like, to get the last one, just in case. You never know. We don't want them to score again. Try to give them the ball with less time so it's harder for them to score. And we take the last one so we go in with momentum. But, I mean, it's hard. You know, you have to have becoming close. Me, Joel, everybody's pretty close, so we can have those conversations. And I told him, I think he got fouled and went to the free throw line. I was like, you know, we were just trying to get the last shot, Joe. I was trying to get the last shot. He's like, no, we're good. And he, you know, he understood, and we move on.
So, George, just how's your chemistry going with James? It looks like the two of you have kind of been able to figure it out on the court pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, he does a great job of making everybody look at him, and then they forget about me, and then it's been working. We should do that a lot. No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, he's a great player. I mean, he does what he does, and like I've said before, he's a basketball savant. I mean, he just finds crafty ways to get other guys involved and to score, and I've been lucky enough to be on the receiving half of that.
Shake, we talked to you this morning, obviously, just kind of about your progress since coming back from your back injury. Just how good did tonight feel as far as kind of the next step in that?
Yeah, it definitely feels good just to catch a little rhythm. Definitely a lot of ups and downs, but honestly, I was just excited to help the team win in whatever way that was. I think a lot of times us guys who come off the bench, that's our focus. That's what we talk about, is coming in and bringing energy and trying to help the team win however it takes. So I was just glad I was able to do that.
George, how did you guys solve their size? It really seemed to bother you in the first half, and in the second half it seemed like you dealt with it a lot better. What did you guys do?
Yeah, you know, I think we played with more pace. I think early on the ball was moving really slow, and once we started flying around, the ball was moving, guys were cutting, we were getting into gaps, playing with more force. You know, I think we started to reap the benefits of getting some open shots, getting some buckets at the rim, and really wearing them down, especially when we got to the free throw line in the third quarter.
I feel like you've gotten a couple chances to be, I guess, the nominal five out there. How does that change with James?
You said what?
Like the nominal center out there.
Was I the center today? Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry. It's been a crazy couple of days. No, I think it's just, you know, I'm going to do whatever I'm asked to do, whether that's play the 5 or play the 4 or play the 3 or, you know, obviously it's not ideal, but, you know, if James is going and we can space guys out on the offensive end and then switch, you know, 1 through 5 on the other end, I think it's going to be beneficial for us. I hope that answered your question. I feel like you're giving me a weird look, and I want to make sure you leave here happy, so you should probably ask again.
Because you can actually see his face.
Yeah, that is true.
You're good, man.
Shake, just what do you feel like maybe was the biggest difference between the first half and the second half?
Yeah, I don't think we just didn't let that zone affect us. I think we were more aggressive. We decided to attack finally, and you know, once we got guys going, it was kind of hard to cover. You couldn't really sit back in that zone. You had G bombing threes, myself, and then James getting to whatever he wanted to get to, and then we got a juggernaut and big fella. So once we all started moving and being aggressive, I feel like that zone couldn't really hold us.